Hey guys, welcome back to another class preview. Today we're going to be going over the Holy Paladin spec and kind of see what has all changed with Holy Paladins and kind of see if they're going to be very viable in Legion and what maybe need to be changed. First of all, we're going to go over the spellbook, dabble in some of the talents, then check out our new awesome artifact weapon. So let's go ahead and get in. We do have Absolution, which is basically our mass res, which now all healers have. Very useful, so you don't have to have mass res through our guild. We do have Aura Mastery. This has changed quite a bit. It's an instant cast with a 3-minute cooldown. Now this is a very good healing cooldown depending on our aura. Auras are going to basically be chosen through our talent, but we'll go over that a little bit later. Basically, this does amplify our aura, giving it special abilities. Right now, my aura is Mercy, and it basically does not have a target limit, making this very useful, but we'll go over that a little bit later. We do have Avenging Wrath, our next kind of healing cooldown, imbues you with Wrathful Light, increasing all healing done by 35%, and your damage and critical strike chance by 20% for 20 seconds. Very good cooldown. I do like the fact that it does increase your crit, giving you some more synergy, and maybe giving you a different stat priority than normal. But still awesome. Does increase your size a little bit and gives you some glorious wings. We still have Beacon of Light. It does cost 800 mana with a 3-second cooldown. Places a beacon of light on your friendly target. Your heals on other party or raid members will also heal your beacon of light. Target up to 40% of the amount healed. Your flash of light and holy light on the beacon target will also refund 30% of their mana cost. Therefore, being able to put this on a tank and does kind of refund your mana, giving you some more mana efficiency. We still have Blessing of Freedom with about a 5,000 mana cost. It's a cast with a 25-second cooldown. Blessing a party or raid member, granting immunity to movement impairing effects for 8 seconds. Nothing's changed there. Same with Blessing of Protection, not much has changed. It does have about a 5,000 mana cost. It's a cast 5-minute cooldown. Places a blessing on a party or raid member, protecting them from all physical or physical for 10 seconds. And cannot be used on targets with forbearance. Now this also does give the target forbearance for 30 seconds. So if you say you're using it on yourself, you can't use Divine Shield, then use this on yourself for another 30 seconds. Blessing of Sacrifice does cost about 2,000 mana with a 3-minute cooldown. Places a blessing on a party or raid member, transferring 30% of the damage taken to you, or until the transferred damage would cause you to fall below 20% life. This is very nice, especially if you're going to be not taking much damage. Put this on a tank that's going to be taking high damage. You do kind of share that damage, therefore making sure that the tank does not die. We do have Cleanse. Nothing really new here. It does have 4,000 mana cost with an 8-second cooldown, but it does cleanse all friendly. Does cleanse a friendly target, removing all poison, disease, and magic effects. No longer just cleansing one effect. It does cleanse all of them. We do have Consecration with an 8-second cooldown. Consecrate the land beneath you, causing 17,000 holy damage over 8.8 seconds to enemies who enter the area. Now, unfortunately, this does not work with healing. That would have been an awesome healing, kind of a raid cooldown, but we also still have Crusader Strike. Is a 4.4 second recharge. It does have two charges. It does strike the target for 19,000 physical damage. Also kind of gives you some cool things to do with your awesome new two-hander. We do have Divine Protection. It does have a 1,000 mana cost. Instant cast, 1 minute cooldown. Reduces all the damage you take by 20% for 8 seconds. Nice little damage reduction just for yourself though. Unfortunately, you cannot place this on other targets. We do have Divine Shield. Similar to Blessing and Protection, but this prevents and protects you from all damage and spells, and not just physical. This cannot be used if you have Forbearance, and this does cost Forbearance for 30 seconds. Divine Seed is a talent we'll talk later. Flash of Light. It does cost 5,000 mana with a 1.4 second cast. A quick but expensive spell, healing a friendly target for 29,000. Nothing really new here, but the fact that your Flash of Light and also your Holy Light are going to heal for the same amount, but one's going to be slower and more mana effective, which is your Holy Light, and your Flash of Light is going to be a lot faster, but it does cost a lot more mana. Hammer of Justice, nothing really changed here. 1,000 mana, 1 minute cooldown, stuns the target for 6 seconds. And Reckoning, a taunt, not like you're gonna ever need to use this, but there if you do. Holy Light does cost 3,000 mana with a 2.4 second cast. Slow but efficient healing for the same amount of Flash of Light, which is 29,000. Holy Prism is a talent we'll talk later. Now we still have Holy Shock. This does cost 3,000 mana with an 8.8 second cooldown. Triggers a burst of light on the target, dealing 20,000 holy damage to an enemy, or 24,000 healing to an ally. The Holy Shock has a double the normal critical strike chance. Say if you have 20% crit, you do have 40% crit on your Holy Shock. Very nice addition. Now we still have Judgment. It does cost about 1,000 mana with 11 second cooldown. Judges the enemy, dealing 22,000 holy damage and causing the target to take 30% increased damage from your Crusader Strikes and Holy Shock for 6 seconds, giving this nice synergy. Next we have Lay of Hands. Nothing really new here. 10-minute cooldown. Heals a friendly target for the amount equal of your max life. It does cause Forbearance for 30 seconds. Light of Dawn is our AoE heal. Unleashes a wave of holy energy, healing up to 5 injured allies within 20 yards in a frontal cone for 16,000. Nice little thing. It does have a 10-second cooldown, therefore making Holy Pallies not the best at healing multiple targets, but they are going to be really good at single target healing. We do have a new spell. We do have the Light of Matar. It does cost 2,000 mana. Instant cast, sacrifice a portion of your own life to instantly heal an ally for 34,000, and you take the damage equal to 60% of the healing done. Now if this does crit, I think it still does scale. Need a crit. It's not taking mana or my health away. But it is a very fast and effective heal, especially if we need to get up someone really fast. But it does come at a price of your own life. Note, this does not cause your Beacon of Light to be healed, and cannot be cast on yourself. Light's Hammer is a talent we'll go over later. We do have Redemption, our basic res. Divine Intervention. Now as a passive, any attack that would kill you or reduce instead reduces you to 20% of your max health and triggers Divine Shield. This cannot occur while Divine Shield is on cooldown or if Abeyance is active. And also a nice passive, your maximum health is increased by 15%. Now this kind of helps out the fact that you're supposed to be a melee healer, kind of giving you a little bit more life to deal with all of the shenanigans. But a very nice cheat death if you don't already have your cooldowns down. You do have Heart of the Crusader, increases your mounted speed by 20%. This does not stack with any other movement pairing increasing effects. Infusion of Light, passive, your Holy Shock critical strikes reduce the cast time of your Holy Light by 1.5 seconds and increases the healing done of your Flash of Light, therefore making good use of your crit, also giving you the option to have more healing or just a faster, more effective, cost-worthy heal. So I do like the fact that this synergizes very well in giving the healer a choice, not just spamming the same old 3 buttons, but you have the ability to choose how you like to heal. Now our Mastery Lightbringer, proximity to your target, causing you to heal for up to 63% more. Basically meaning the closer you are to a target, the more you're going to heal them. So if I were to heal this guy over here, it does do, let's do a regular heal. It does 38,000 from over here. If I were closer, it does 48,000. A huge difference in my opinion. It's still 48,000. See if it increases a little. Not really. But very nice energy. I did think they were going to use that to work with their beacon, but we'll kind of see how that plays out. Now for our talents, starting off with Holy Bolt. Holy Shock's damage and healing has increased by 30%. Very nice passive. Works very well if we're good at popping this on cooldown and using all the beneficial effects from this. Wow, that was 100k instant heal. That's a very good heal. Now we do have Light's Hammer. Hurls a light-infused hammer into the ground where it blasts a 10-yard radius every 2 seconds for 14 seconds. Each blast deals 7,000 holy damage and heals up to 6 allies for 3,000. It does have a 1-minute cooldown, therefore making it not the best healing cooldown, but could be useful for raid fights and raid healing. We do have Crusader's Might. It's a passive for Crusader Strikes, reduces the cooldown of Holy Shock and Light of Dawn by 1.5 seconds. This can be very useful if we are, we should be close to the target, and just having a nice synergy. Therefore, giving you more AoE healing and also some nice burst healing from Holy Shock. Next we do have Divine Steed, which is an awesome new talent in my opinion. It's an instant cast with a 45-second cooldown. Summons a Holy Charger to ride for 3 seconds, increasing your movement speed by 100%. And this is usable indoors or in combat. Now this is a very cool thing. Basically have your mount and you get to charge in or away. Next we do have Unbreakable Spirit, which is a passive. Reduce the cooldown of your Divine Shield, Divine Protection, and Lay on Hands for 30%. By 30%, so it kind of gives you some extra oh shit buttons. Next we do have Rule of Law, 30-second recharge. Does increase the range of your heals and the reach of your mastery Lightbringer by 50% for 10 seconds. This could be very useful if you do have to move away for stacking and whatever. It does have 2 charges, so I do find this going to be very situational on fights. Maybe if you have to stack in a certain place, it does kind of help out with your mastery quite a bit. Next we do have Fist of Justice. Our Judgment reduces the remaining cooldown of our Hammer of Justice, therefore having more stuns, and boom, does reduce that by 10 seconds each time, around making that a 30-second cooldown. We do have Repentance, 3000 mana, 1.6 second cast with a 15-second cooldown, forces a enemy target to meditate, incapacitating the target and dealing up to a maximum of 25% of the target's health and damage over 1 minute. This could be a very useful CC since it does do some damage to them. I don't think it will work on bosses and stuff like that, or in PvP. If not, that will be a hugely reduced cost, or reduced damage. Still have Blinding Light with a 2000 mana cost, 1.5 minute cooldown, emits dazzling light in all directions, blinding enemies within 10 yards, dealing 22,000 damage, and causing them to wander disoriented for 6 seconds. Non-holy damage will break this disorient effect. So if I cast this, and if I cast Judgment, they should be still disoriented. Now onto our auras. Now this really does change the playstyles of your Holy Pally. We do have Devotion Aura. All these auras are going to be passives, but this one, allies within 10 yards take 20% reduced damage, split over the number of allies in the aura. So if we do have a lot of members around us, it does kind of reduce the damage taken, but it does not kind of specify by how much. While Aura Mastery is active, basically our 3-minute cooldown, all affected allies gain the full damage reduction. So if we are, the melee is taking a bunch of damage, pop this and it should give you a bunch of damage reduction. Aura of Sacrifice. It's another passive. While you are above 65% health, 10% of all damage taken by allies within 10 yards is redirected to you. While Aura Mastery is active, 15% of all effective healing you deal is replicated to all enemies within your aura. This does give you a lot, can lower your health quite a bit But if we're not taking the direct damage, this could be very useful to helping out your tanks, and also giving you some nice raid heals for your melee. Last but not least, we do have Aura of Mercy. Restores 1,000 health to 3 injured allies within 10 yards every 1 second. This is a very nice just passive heal. While Aura Mastery is active, heals all allies in the aura instead of just 3. If we do have a highly heavy melee raid, this could be very useful, but this does not affect that much in dungeons, since probably the max you're going to have is 5 in melee. So now moving on to Divine Purpose. Another passive, Light of Dawn and Holy Shock have a 15% chance to not start their cooldown, making their next cast a free cast. This is a nice little proc when it happens. I do feel like the percentage is very low. Overall, it does not play very well. I could see this if it was maybe doubled at 30% to be very effective, but overall, not a good passive. Now, Sanctified Wrath. Avenging Wrath lasts 50% longer and also reduces the Holy Shock cooldown by 50% for its duration. Therefore, when you pop this, you're able to spam Holy Shock a lot more, kind of synergizing with Holy Bolt. Next we do have Holy Prism. Does cost 5,000 mana with a 20-second cooldown. A beam of light turns the target into a Holy Prism. An enemy target takes 22,000 holy damage and radiates 15,000 healing to 5 nearby allies within 15 yards. And if you cast this on a friendly target, it is healed for 27,000 and radiates 16,000 holy damage to 5 nearby enemies. So this could be a nice quick tank heal and gives you some damage on the targets. Or this could be a nice melee heal, healing a bunch of different targets if you do cast this on an enemy. So it gives you a little bit more choice on how you want to heal, and if you want a bigger healing one person, or if you want more healing on your melee. We do have our next talent, Stoicism, not really sure. Is a passive, reduces the damage you take from Light of Mateer. Gives you a nice little reduction if you do have to use this quite a bit, especially on high damage fights. If someone is taking a lot of damage, this could be very useful. Next is Daybreak. Passively reduces the cooldown of Light of Dawn by 3 seconds. Light of Dawn is our AoE, giving you more AoE heals, and does reduce it to 7 seconds. Now Judgment of Light. Your Judgment now applies Judgment of Light to the target, causing the next 40 successful attacks against the target to heal the attacker for 1,000 health. This can only occur 1 per second. So this could be very nice for your melee, giving them some extra health. Obviously, you'll be able to cast Judgment all the time for the amount of healing it does. 1,000 mana is not that much, therefore making this a very good talent if we do have a bunch of melee. Now, Beacon of Faith does cost 1,000 mana. Instant cast with a 3-minute cooldown. Mark the target as a beacon mimicking the effects of Beacon of Light. Your heals will now heal both of your beacons, but at a 20% reduced effectiveness. Say if your tanks both are taking a bunch of damage, this could be very useful, but it doesn't heal as much. So since our Beacon of Light only heals up to 40, this would only heal both of them for 20% of other healing. Now, Beacon of the Lightbringer. It is a passive. It does affect our mastery quite a bit. It basically applies our mastery to our proximity of Beacon of Light. Lightbringer now increases the healing based on your target's proximity to either you or your Beacon of Light, whichever is closer. The healing range of Lighted Dawn is also increased by 30%. So this makes Paladins be able to have their beacon on their tank and us to be enraged. I do find this kind of quite not synergize very well with, say, our Crusader's Might, since this will be more melee based if we're up in the action, because we do have to do Crusader Strike. But maybe if we do have two melee groups split, this could kind of work very well as long as we had some targets to attack. But this makes our mastery very good and allows our Holy Paladins to be at range. Now, Beacon of the Savior is a passive, deals damage with dealing damage with Crusader Strike, Judgment, Holy Shock, or auto attacks. Also heal your Beacon of Light target for 10,000. This can be very awesome for your melee and give you some extra healing for our beacon. If we are up close, this kind of synergizes with our Crusader's Might, therefore reducing all of our cooldowns by quite a bit, especially if we had Daybreak. You could be healing your melee for quite a bit. Not sure if Judgment would win overall, but giving you way reduced cast time of that. So you could spam a bunch of melee AoE heals. Overall, some really cool talents. It does change the aspect of a Holy Paladin by a lot. I do kind of like the fact that they are going to be a melee healer, but in dungeons it's going to make it a little bit difficult. Just to say, if me and the tank were the only peoples in melee, and I know I just said peoples, but and we did have a primarily ranged group, there are some talents that we can choose to kind of affect this and kind of play off of it. But overall, kind of fun how you can choose how you want to heal, and also heal different comps. Like if we have melee heavy, you can choose to a few different talents and kind of go melee heavy healing. I really do like the talents for this. It makes me really excited and makes me wanna play Holy Pally. But moving on to our artifact weapon, the Silver Hand. Side note, when you do equip this, our armor does increase by 30%. Kind of helps out being in melee and making up for the fact that we do not have a shield. Now, our main ability that we do get from the Silver Hand is Tears Deliverance. It is about a 2-second cast with a 1.5 minute cooldown. Releases the light of the Silver Hand for about 10 seconds, healing a injured ally within 40 yards for 10,000 every 1 second. This is a awesome cooldown. especially if you have a bunch of targets dropping low. It does work off our smart healing, affecting the lowest health target first, making this very useful cooldown, especially on high rate damage fights. And this does work for 40 yards, so you do not have to only be healing melee with this. Now, we do have some pretty interesting passives, or our main passives. All these side ones do kind of do minor things like increase the healing done by Holy Light and Flash of Light by up to 10%. But these elite, if you want to call these kind of talents, do kind of affect the gameplay quite a bit. Holy Light and Flashlight have a chance to unlock the Silver Hand, increasing your Holy Shock, your next Holy Shock by 15% of all damage and healing you do within the next 10 seconds. Now, when this procs, this can very much increase your Holy Shock, especially if we do have Holy Bolt. This does kind of synergize together, increasing the damage or the healing that you can do with Holy Shock. So those two kind of go hand in hand, no pun intended. Get it? Silver Hand. Okay, never mind. Now the next one, the Light Saves. When when the health of your Beacon of Light target falls below 50% health, your next Holy Light or Flash of Light on your Beacon of Light target will heal for additional 100%. This can only occur every 30 seconds. This could be very useful. Like I said, Holy Pallies are very good at healing melee. All this synergy can really come in handy on high ads fight that do cleave or something like that effect. But some of these do save the necks of melee, since primarily they are going to be taking the most damage. But last but not least, we do have Protection of Tyr. Aura Mastery also increases all healing received by party or raid members within 40 yards by 15%. Now this is a very good cooldown. It does affect other healers, so if we do have a Restoration Druid popping Tranquility, using this will help them out quite a bit, making sure they do get the most of their cooldown, and overall just helping out quite a bit. I do like some of the synergy that some of the healers do have now with each other, basically giving other healers or themselves bonuses, such as Restoration Druids now have Innervate, basically giving themselves or another healer no mana cost for the next 10 seconds, which would be amazing on, say, a Restoration Shaman. And this would be very good for any AoE heals that are going to pop off, especially on high rate damage fights. This could be quite an amazing passive. But overall, I do find the Holy Pally to be a lot of fun, and I do kind of want to heal as this, but I do kind of see a lot of people wanting to play this spec, since it is kind of a new way to heal. I do find that there's going to be a lot more Holy Pallies. Primarily, I've seen the healers are about 50% Holy Pallies, 50% other healers. I don't even think I've seen a Mistweaver yet, but they're around there somewhere. But overall, very fun spec. Definitely interesting to play a melee healer. It's going to be kind of fun, especially get to whack people with your giant hammer while you're casting heals on people. But very cool spec nonetheless. Hopefully we did like this. If we did like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And there will be a lot more to come. If we do have any questions, please just put them in the comment box below. And thank you very much once again for watching, and I will see you guys next time.